Joining me right now is McKay Coppins, senior political writer for BuzzFeed News, MSNBC News correspondent Katie Tur, and political consultant Tara Dowdell, who was once a contestant on The Apprentice. So, gang, it is great to have you all with me, and as we talk about the debate last night, which gathered together 24 million people around the tube. This was appointment television last night for this debate. Katie, let me start with you, though. The reaction that people are having from Megyn Kelly questioning Trump on misogynistic statements, misogynistic behavior. You sat down with him for a very long interview, and he was terse in a way to you that seemed demeaning at one point. Do you think that Megyn Kelly got the Katie Tur treatment?
Well, I think that everybody gets that treatment. I think he certainly treats anyone who challenges him in a certain way. He doesn't like to be challenged, and he likes to hit back. I think that he has been accused, certainly after my interview, of being unnecessarily tough on women or condescending, misogynistic, if you will. But I do think he's tough on everybody that he speaks with. I think if you look at the headlines right now, they're very mixed. Some are saying that Trump ran away with this, that he owned this debate. Others are saying that he's going to really feel the consequences for these women comments. But unfortunately, or fortunately for him, and depending on how you're looking at it, people who support him already and like his rhetoric and like what he has to say will support what he's doing now. They enjoy that he's a straight shooter. They enjoy that he's not politically correct. They enjoy that he's not a politician like the politicians they've been seeing their whole lives. They think that people or politicians are double talking to them. They think that they're lying to them, and they believe that even if he says something that's out of line in some ways, that he is still speaking the truth and he's speaking to them. Now, if you don't support him, then you think that what he said is disgusting, and you think it's unexcusable. So I think it just hardened his core of support. If you like him, you still like him. If you don't like him, you don't like them even more. Right,
and meanwhile, and McKay, we saw that from the interview with Paula Johnson just a moment ago, talking about how now she is disgusted with Megyn Kelly, feels that this was a total setup. A lot of people would say, well, this is the craziest thing you could ever do, is take on Fox News and Megyn Kelly, who is their revered primetime host. Is Donald Trump making a mistake?
Yeah, I think that a lot of people have been saying all through this campaign, every time Donald Trump says something wacky or ridiculous, that this is the beginning of the end for Donald Trump's campaign. I don't know if there will be any one moment like that, but certainly the case could be made that last night was the beginning of the end of the Trump bubble, because it was clear on both sides, both from Fox News and from Trump, that there's no love lost anymore between those two entities. And that's important. Fox News, as much as the right and as much as conservatives love Donald Trump, they have loved Fox News longer. And not just Megyn Kelly, all these personalities, all these broadcasters on Fox are very influential opinion makers on the right to the Republican primary voters. And if he's going to continue to feud with them, I don't see that helping him maintain the support that he needs to succeed.
Well, everything has only emboldened him, and there seems to be a common thread here, and it begins with M. So we've got Mexico, McCain, and now Megyn, which is nothing but giving him the attention that he craves and his campaign actually needs. Tara, one thing that last night was brought up, and we saw with Paula's reaction, that she felt things were very personal against Donald Trump. But take a listen to how Chris Wallace took him to task for the type of business person he is. Look at this.
Let's just talk about the latest example, which is Trump Entertainment Resort, which went bankrupt in 2009. In that case alone, lenders to your company lost over $1 billion, and more than 1,100 people were laid off.
Well,
is that the way that you run the country?
Let me tell you about the lenders. First of all, these lenders aren't babies. These are total killers. These are not the nice, sweet little people that you think, okay? 7 years ago, I left Atlantic City before it totally cratered, and I made a lot of money in Atlantic City, and I'm very proud of it.
All right, so he is touting his business experience. You were inspired by his business experience, and you competed on The Apprentice. How do you think it gels to see him questioned about bankruptcies? And he says on paper he's worth $10 billion. Does that gel his answers and about bankruptcies? Is that fair game?
I think all the questions that were asked of him last night were fair game because he's running on these very topics. He's running as a successful business person. So it is fair game to question him on those bankruptcies, which we all know exist. He's running as a guy who's made $10 billion, despite the fact all the data and reports and studies that have been done saying it's more like $2 billion or $3 billion. So I think for him to be questioned on that is totally fair. I would also add, when I did participate in the show, it was when he was a Democrat. But I think that all the questions were fair game. But I think what's particularly stunning here is this is one of the areas where he's most thin-skinned. But notice the difference in how he conducted himself with Chris Wallace in response to that question versus Megyn Kelly. There was much more ire directed at Megyn Kelly when she challenged him versus when the male anchors challenged him.
So your perception is that he went to task. Katie said he gives as good as he gets against everybody.
He's tough on everybody. I think he will hit anyone. He's called Rick Perry dumb, and that he's only trying to look smart with his glasses. A lot of negative things about a lot of people.
That's one of the nicer things.
I do think yeah, well, I'm not going to use all the language, but I do think it resonates more because he's being perceived as somebody who isn't a fan of women. He's said these negative comments about women. He's retweeted the bimbo tweet. So I do think it definitely hits a nerve.
Megyn Kelly is unquestionably sharp. Whether you agree or disagree with her, she's sharp, and he attacked her as being not sharp.
We also know how much she loves McKay Coppins.
Right.
McKay, thank you so much. Katie Tur, great to see you.